This is really the Fighter and the Kid.
Come on, baby.
The camo.
Oh, bro, so much camo.
Yeah, I think too. You're one of the guys in country's my favorite genre of music. You're one of the guys too that made it kind of cool. You know, Florida Georgia Line.
I'll
we
take
listen to them
that.
here. We
I'll
listen to
take
you
it.
guys on this podcast talking about you.
That's cool.
You kind of, you know, because country, when you think like George Strait or Garth Brooks,
Right.
like I'm not trying to rock Garth Brooks, man.
Right.
You know, but you Florida Georgia Line, like you guys like made it cool. Like it was like you guys like crossed over and like made it cool and like
Thanks,
hip,
dude.
if that
I
makes
appreciate
sense,
it,
man.
Bro. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you've been
I'll take
crushing
that.
it, brother.
I'll take
Crushing
that.
it, man.
Thank you, man. It's been fun, man. It's been a lot of fun.
Wild ride, huh?
It is. Yep.
Some would say the wildest.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible, you know. It's definitely surreal. It's actually just ultimately getting to do what I love and actually paying the bills and actually getting to do it on the level that I've gotten to do it at. It is wild. It's like,
Because when you started, did you start typically like most musicians? Like, is that the garage?
yeah, I was pretty old school. Came up pretty old school. Like when we decided to pursue the artist thing, like we were calling clubs ourselves, acting like agents. We would, you know, pack 12 dudes in a Sprinter van and not even a Sprinter van. That was stage 2, but like a 15 passenger, like old church van.
I was going to say Sprinter van. At a young age, you guys were balling.
No, right,
Yeah.
exactly. No, that was later on.
That was later on.
Yeah, you're in
that
the
was
old
when we had
school
made it
creepy
at
van,
that
yeah.
point. But yeah, we were old school van. Had my car detailing trailer that I would use on the weekends, and we'd pack it full of gear and go play clubs in the Southeast, you know. So we kind of
It's
built
a grind,
it.
man.
We built it real from the ground up, you know,
Yeah.
originally, and that's kind of the approach I'm taking in this new season as a solo artist, just getting out there and
Yeah, I love the stuff you're putting out. Like a lot of times when guys, like you're known for one thing, right? Florida Georgia Line, when they venture out on their own, you're like, oh man, what are you going to get? But man, it's good, brother.
Thanks, dude.
It's
I
good, man.
appreciate it, man.
Has to be scary though. Has to be a little
yeah,
scary.
I mean,
yeah?
it was. I would just say that season in general was scary for me and for everyone. I mean, whenever all that was going on, we were living in the pandemic.
Bro.
You know, it was like 2020, the end of 2020 when all this conversation started. So yeah, it was scary to realize, like, first of all, to realize before we even had discussions of doing solo things, like we knew like, oh, we can't go play shows. Like that's pretty scary when you've been doing it every night for every weekend for 10 years. And you're like, this is what I just assume I'd always be doing this, you know, like, and then overnight it's like no more shows. And you're like, well, what am I going to do?
Yeah,
So in my head, I was like, well, I love to write songs. That's kind of my day job anyways. And that's where one of my passions is, obviously as a songwriter. And so I was like, well, I'll just lean into that. And I did for a while, but yeah, there was a lot of unknown in that season for sure. And I had my third child at that time as well, and at that point that was 3 under 3.
Bro,
I ruptured my Achilles and broke my ankle. So there was a lot going on where I'm like, man,
the unknown, brother.
I don't know what God's teaching me here, but this is getting crazy. I wish he'd hurry up and get done teaching me whatever
Get
he's
to the
teaching
last
me.
chapter, man.
So yeah, get to the last chapter, please.
Well,
But,
it doesn't matter who you are. You got to hustle, right?
Yeah,
It
man.
doesn't matter. Like,
But also leaving, you know, the established group. I mean, one of the biggest of all time, Florida Georgia Line, bro.
Yeah.
Like massive, dude.
Thanks,
and then to go off on your own, it also has to be tough because it's so public, right? Like it's different.
well, there was a lot of
It's just-
speculation. So
Totally.
you're also dealing with all that noise, that
Right.
social media horseshit. But in a way, it can be real in terms of how it affects your bottom line, how you address it. That's the fucking problem. Right? So everybody's got these points of view, everybody's drawing lines, everybody's taking sides and all that horse shit.
Right.
And believe it or not, you want to be in it. Like we were talking before this about how, you know, social media can be, a lot of it, when we talk about this, a lot of it's fake, a lot of it's not real in terms of how it affects your day-to-day interactions.
It's
But-
also tough to navigate the world too, because we're kind of the first generation that deals with it at this magnitude.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh no, like they're saying this, whoever it is, the media saying this, you want to get on like, no, here's the truth, but that doesn't matter.
Right.
So it's like you're fighting these demons.
Yeah, and if you're-
you know that like there's this just narrative bullshit.
Which is a distraction, because if you're a comic, if you're a songwriter, your job is original self-expression. You're
Creative.
trying to do
Creative.
something that's
Yeah.
that's
Authentic.
original.
Yes, sir.
Authentic.
Yeah.
That's not derivative. All that shit.
Right.
And that takes a certain mindset. If you're also having to think about this other noise,
Right.
you know.
And at that time, there was tons of noise, and it was super polarizing time for everybody. Remember? I mean, it was like,
Oh, bro.
are you on this side or that side? And it was just, blah, and it was just, so everyone was a bit we were all a bit off kilter. You know what I'm saying?
There's some people on the right side, some people on the wrong side. And you and I are on the right side,
totally,
brother.
always. We were on the wrong side.
We were like, we lost a lot of people. You know,
all good.
As Rogan says in his special, he goes, we lost a lot of people in COVID, and some of them are no longer with us. You know, in other words,
totally.
I lost a lot of, you know.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, people fell off the rockers a bit during that time, you know, and it was. But for me, like looking back, like in hindsight, like you just said, bro. I mean, everybody goes through hard times, and looking back, man, I'm like so grateful I'm where I'm at, and honestly, it made me stronger because there was a time where I was like, dude, like first of all, I don't know if I'm ever gonna play another show again. That alone is pretty scary, like because that was my passion, my love. Secondly. At the time, literally, I couldn't walk for like 6 months, and I couldn't be any help around. I mean, it was a humbling time. So looking back, I'm actually grateful for the lessons I learned, and I'm grateful to be able to, you know, anytime you kind of face your fears, man. Once you get to the other side, it's just so fulfilling, and that's kind of where I'm sitting right now. So yeah, I'm.
You kind of realize that everything's figure outable, you know, like
exactly, man.
But I think only if you put in the work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you would have left, right, and it's like you left Florida Georgia Line, and then you release some. You know, just some bullshit or something that we're like, what is this? But it's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where you're like, all right, he's doing the work.
I really do think a lot of times, like, too much comfort is your biggest enemy. It's like that expression, the wolf at the door is not struggle, it's luxury.
Well, I don't think comfort builds character. And that's kind of what I've
doesn't build an artist, I'll tell you that much.
No, it doesn't. No.
It doesn't build men either.
It doesn't build men.
No, man. No.
We're pretty comfortable.
And society's going through comfort, like with everything. Like, no, we don't ruffle any feathers. Like, it's okay to ruffle some feathers, man. It's good, man.
100%.
It's good.
Totally.
It's good for the narrative. You want to ruffle some feathers.
Well, that would be the case with songwriting. I'm sure your songwriting changed having to deal with all that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely had a lot of emotion, you know, that I could pour out into songs, and then I could kind of channel that, you know,
How do you write songs?
From so many different perspectives.
Do you write songs?
How do I write songs?
Do you start with a metaphor? Do you just get an idea?
I wish there was like one equation. It's really kind of it's a fun craft because no day is the same. I keep an ongoing like notes on my phone of like general ideas, maybe titles, things like that. I have a voice, voice notes, you know what I'm saying? Where I'll, if a melody or something hits me, I might take a quick note of that and just to have some stuff like stockpiled a bit as far as general concepts or ideas. But we do a lot of co-writing in Nashville. That's kind of the name of the game, and it's a really cool concept because you get together with 2 or 3 guys that you love.
Yeah, it's teamwork.
It's super creative, and you
Not with us.
you throw around the best idea. You throw around a bunch of ideas until something sticks, and then you just kind of. I call hanging the dartboard. You know, kind of create a goal at the end of the day and trying to shoot for it. And
could you write a song with us?
Ultimately, it's just to write a great song.
You think you had to?
You never know. I think so.
Gun to your
He's
head?
that good.
There's a guitar right here. Why don't you?
I was
Because
going
we
to ask you.
we wouldn't help out.
That's your guitar?
No, it's not.
That's Chin's.
I put it there for a reason, just in
I didn't
case.
bring my guitar.
Of course, it's not his guitar.
I don't know. I saw
sir.
it. Suddenly I saw it. I was like, that's a nice guitar.
No, he's not some new artist trying to break out right now. Brings a guitar everywhere.
Baby Martin. I like
Yeah.
Is guitar your thing? How do you write songs?
Yeah, usually guitar, piano.
But also
mainly guitar.
writing songs isn't anything new for you. Like that's your thing. Like even with the big group you're in, I always assume like that's your thing. You know.
Yeah, I moved to Nashville. Well, ultimately I moved there to go to school, but once I got out of school and realized that there was a profession called songwriting, I was like, that's my jam. Like that's what I want to try to pursue. And so ultimately that's what I was doing, which led to being an artist because I was like, in order to get my songs heard, you got to get out and play them.
Yep.
You know, to get songs heard, to potentially, hopefully, get songs cut by other artists. And so that was really my initial motivation, you know, to do the artist thing. And me and BK happened to be writing songs together and playing songwriters rounds, and then we ended up being roommates right after college, and so we just kind of did it together and decided, let's just start playing our songs and trying to get some songs cut.
It's kind of cool though. The first time you realize that you wrote a song that people like, right? It must be kind of wild.
It is pretty wild. Yeah, especially the first cut you get, like when you have another artist call you and tell you they want to record a song you wrote that they didn't write on. It's pretty fulfilling. Yeah, it's
that's
fun.
cool, man.
It's a challenge.
Do you remember like is there a group that you found astonishing that kind of, thank you for the golden goose, by the way. Is there
Oh, yeah.
is there a group that you kind of when you were younger said I have to do this? Do you remember the moment when you were like, I got to be a fucking songwriter?
Man, I just grew up listening to a lot of great country songs that really inspired, even like Alan Jackson and stuff like that, where I'm just like, man, these songs are so great. Like they paint such cool pictures, and I can see the stories in my head, and just being inspired by that. But also like being very inspired by a whole lot of different influences, from hip hop to rock to Christian music, which I ended up, that's kind of where I started anyways, like playing music in church. That's kind of where I fell in love with music. And so getting to like be a creative and get to kind of like put all those influences in a mixing bowl on any given day and say, today let's write a rap song, or let's write a Christian song, or let's write a country
I think it
song.
shows in your music too,
It's a lot of
especially with
fun.
the early day Florida Georgia line, because right, it was like country and there's some rap, you're rapping over it. It's just like the whole swag. It was like a whole kind of smorgasbord of just all sorts of influences.
I'm also amazed at the difference in the Southern church versus like you go to church in Boston. It may as well be in Latin.
Right.
Everybody's quiet. The priest gets up there, talks. He's there. He says, "Yeah, it's gonna sit down." You're there. It's all kind of like very, And then you go down to the South.
Yeah, Biden
and
learned the
it's
hard way.
What's that?
See Biden at the Southern Church, he's all.
Bro, it's that
It's a
the
holy
only
shit.
the black community, when they migrated north, brought that gospel to the churches in Harlem and stuff like that.
Yeah.
My friend's mom died, and I went to that church. I was the only white guy in the church. It was a fucking concert. I was like, well, I'd be here
Celebration.
every Sunday.
Yeah.
And then I went to church down in Florida because my wife's religious. My wife's family, they go to church. And I was like, well, there's a band, and these
Different.
guys are talented
Different.
as shit. I mean, they were singing their asses off,
Right.
and they grew up in the church.
Yeah, man.
I also think you hit it at a good time too, because country's the number one genre in America. Yeah,
Is it?
by far the biggest? Yeah,
Yeah, it
we
is
took
right now.
hip-hop.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, everybody's making the
jump.
Everybody's making the jump, man. But it's cool, like it's like you said, I've kind of been in the game now for, I don't know what, like 12 or 13 years technically as a professional artist, and so to get to watch the genre grow the way it has, man, it's been super cool.
And I think
now it's in a
I think you
special-
had a huge influence in that, where you see people jumping over, because there's like country, right? Like Johnny, the Johnny Cash stuff like that. It's country, and then the crossover where it's a little more like the melodies and like a little more catchy. Like you had a lot to do with that. Right.
Well, there's definitely,
but then also, sorry to interrupt you,
you're good.
but then also there was a thing too, like I've been rocking Florida Georgia Line for a hot second, and who put me onto it was Tim Tebow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he put me on, I'm like, this is great. But there was a thing too where it was like the hardcore country guys would make fun of us for listening to Florida Georgia.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, because that's not, Johnny Cash. I'm like,
Right.
no, I'm not jamming to Johnny Cash
Right.
for practice.
I
So
like
there was
that
like a
there's-
weird line there.
More percussion.
There's definitely some different subgenres, in country music, which I think is cool. You know what I mean? Like you sort of nowadays got something for everybody, and you can kind of pick and choose. Some days I'm in the mood to go more traditional and channel my inner Alan Jackson or Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
But some days it's fun to really kind of push the envelope a bit and see where you can go. And now that now Post is in the game,
That's
and
what I was just
Beyonce
gonna
put out a
say.
record. and-
See, I think you open it up for them, because if you go back how long ago you did that, now you see Post jumping into it, right? And he has the jeans on and the attire. And you're like, oh damn, I thought that's the white boy with cornrows. It's
Yeah,
like,
right.
dude,
That's
you can
Post,
jump
yeah.
into that, and then MGK's jumping into it, right? And then
Right.
obviously Jelly Roll is a big
Yeah,
influence now. He has
totally.
tattoos on his fucking face, so
Totally.
it's like it's this cross pollination now. Where
Well,
I think you were the Jackie
bro.
Robinson of it. Like you were the first one to make that transition.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's been fun to see it happen, and it's honestly the coolest part is how it brings in so many different people to our genre. It's not one lifestyle or one type of person that's listening to country music. It's the Jelly Roll crowd. It's the Lainey Wilson crowd. It's the Luke Combs. Everybody brings in kind of their people, and it's a cool, man. It's a big old family now.
And it's a big family. And to that point, it's also like in this day and age of cancel culture, like you look at Morgan Wallen, who, was caught on tape drunk, said something he shouldn't have, and all the record labels and like the big media drop him. Country music went, well, no. He made a mistake.
Right.
We're not casting him
He
off
was
the
drunk
island.
and just
Yeah,
talked.
no,
Right.
he made a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. Clearly, he's a good person. And then he had the number one album, number one
Oh, yeah.
song. Like they fight the good fight, man.
Yeah, he's been number one ever since then.
Ever
But,
since.
Yeah.
That's
B,
great.
they went, hold up. No, you're not canceling him.
Yeah.
And they made his album number one ever since.
Yeah. Not to mention he does put out great
Super
songs.
talented, yeah.
So it's not,
No, he
he
slaps.
has the
He slaps.
talent to back
Yeah.
it. But
And I think it's important also to realize it's not because people are racist or anything. It's because they recognize talent. They want to listen to great music, and they're not going to cancel a human being and his entire life and work based on a mistake he made,
Right.
or what he was talking.
But think about the mistake. Hold on. He's with his buddies, coming home from a bar. Some lady from a roof films him while he's with his friend. So it's not supposed to be on tape. None of that. You're gonna cancel them over that? I just like that country went, no. We'll take it from here. And then
I think they gave him a slap on the hand for a few months, and then
the gatekeeper,
loved him, and then loved him, and then loved him.
He's too talented.
Right.
Well, the
Look at
gatekeepers
Jelly Roll.
have changed. The gatekeepers have changed. Yeah.
Jelly Roll's a felon. His tattoos on his face. Yeah. His wife was a mistress. He's huge.
I mean, honestly, it is kind of cool that our genre is sort of like, hey, open arms, man. If you're a good person, and it doesn't really matter.
Or how about
where
this?
you've come from or what
everybody's flawed and everybody makes mistakes.
Exactly. I think it's there's a lot of truth in that, obviously, and so it's cool that our genre can, understand that a bit.
But this is what we were talking about before we started recording. Is it just the idea that we pay such a price, and I think a lot of times the price is invisible. You don't realize that we are so connected to this portal in our hands and watching a highlight reel of other people's lives. It doesn't make you feel good about yourself. It makes you feel like you're missing something. Mm-hmm. We start talking about the fact that are those real friends or are those fake friends? Are you talking about my fucking following? Like, is this this is where we've gotten? Are those bots or are those real followers? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. We're having these weird conversations around things that actually don't matter. And that is the enemy to, just like comfort and luxury is, that's also the enemy.
Yeah.
That false sort of like, because it takes us away from what actually matters.
But it also takes certain fan base away too. Like if you go online, it's like Brendan and Bryan hate each other. I'm like, what? Since when?
Man, there's so much false narratives running around the internet, and
you can't address them. Like Rogan's always like, ignore it. It's like, but that's so off. And they're like, yeah, what are you gonna do?
Somebody sent me something about on CNN. Somebody was talking about. They said I was a far right conspiracy theorist.
That was me.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. No, I'm not far right.
I apologize.
In fact, I had a podcast where I was debunking conspiracies. So, I'm not one of those guys. I don't think, actually, I know it's going to be sound crazy. I don't think that the election was rigged. I'm not going to go down those fucking
I will.
holes.
Yeah, I think it was rigged.
But I just don't go down those rabbit holes. But it's funny how
I don't want to get you guys in trouble. I know you're mainstream. I don't want to get you in trouble. But you don't want to get me starting conspiracies.
I just don't like that stuff. I'm just like,
it is tough, bro, because especially if you get on there and read it, you realize, man, maybe people don't really know me as well as I feel like they do, because there's so many false narratives out there, and it's nice. It's nice to know I'm not the only one, but also I think it's also just part of our world we live in. I don't know if we can, to your point, like just let it ride, because ultimately,
what are you going to
control what everyone thinks? No. You know what I'm saying? Do you need to defend yourself and try to convince the world of who you are? Not really.
No, because your core group of friends know.
Yeah,
that's really all friends, you really care about.
Your real friends
opinion.
know, and
everyone knows what's going on. And then also, does it really matter? Because also, when you talk about like, oh, does the fan base know me? The answer, like deep down, no. No, they know you for the entertainer, the great songs, you in concert, which is a heightened version of yourself. But like at home and your jammies with wife and kid, they don't know that version.
There's definitely aspects of my life that they don't have any idea about. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, to talk about like the phone and stuff, like I feel like in this day and age that we live in as well with social media and all that, like I will say, I'll preface it by saying I think it's, if used responsibly, it can actually be a pretty cool way to connect with fans and help them get to know you a bit. Just like this podcast right here, like people are getting to know me and you guys based on conversation, but like they got to want to get to know you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just, and they got to be open to it. And sometimes, people aren't willing to actually get to know anyone. They just want to believe what they want to believe, and that's what it is.
Because that's funner. Let's take a little break.
Take a little break. First of all, I'm going to be in Plano, Texas.
Love
Dallas.
Texas, dude.
I'll be at the House of Comedy September 6, 7, and 8. Just get that. Then I'm in Edmonton after that at the comic strip the weekend after. BryanCallen.com.
Trudeau's coming.
Yeah, he might.
Fidel Castro's son.
Listen, I want to talk to you about the fact that 28 million people trust Progressive.
Oh, dude.
If you're
insurance is a lot, but with Progressive, they make it so dang easy because they have that nifty comparison tool, dude, we're always talking about. It's all the rave right now. And they with this tool, you get the rate you need and coverage you deserve so dang easy. Mm-hmm. All right. And you can get a quote easily at Progressive's website.
You get a quote with all the coverages you want, like comprehensive and collision coverage, personal injury protection. Then you see Progressive's direct rate, and their tool provides you options from other companies all lined up and ready to compare. So it's simple to choose the rate and coverages you like.
It's so easy, man. So if you're ready to get a quote, go to progressive.com. Join over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. Progressive. Like that, whatever happened with the drama with Florida's Georgia Line or with me and Bryan, like the truth isn't that exciting, man.
Right.
No, this is what happened.
It doesn't get clicks, does it?
That's really funny. That's so true too. Isn't
Same
it?
with conspiracy
The truth
theory.
is not that exciting.
Like
how conspiracy might be. A lot of times there's no conspiracy. It's just dumb. It's just
well, no, but it's funner.
Stupidity.
Entertaining conversation.
Yeah,
Right.
like because it's a funner conversation. Like if we want to talk about the election being rigged, that's a long video, fun conversation. If you're just like, no, it's not. I'm like, no, it's not. There's not much to riff on. Dude.
It's like my friend who's in the intelligence community, and he's in those rooms, you know, and they like real deal. And he was like, I wish people could see how decisions are made and how wrong we are a lot of times, and how chaotic it is, and how nobody's actually in charge. That like there's this invisible group that are calling the shots. Yeah, right.
You're talking about the deep state?
Everybody has a different opinion.
Right.
Everybody has a different opinion. Now, a lot of times the president has to make a choice.
He works for who?
The responsibility is a bunch of people come in and go, here are the options. You got shitty option number 1, even shittier option number 2,
Right.
and worst option number 3. Go.
Right.
You know, it was like with Trump when they said to Trump during the COVID thing, his strategist said, I think this is a quote. He said, "You got a choice. You can shut the country down, okay, or you can decide that Fauci's exaggerating, lying, or whatever, and that's probably what most of us think. This isn't that bad. Watch this. What if he's not? What if this is the beginning of COVID? What if on your watch you don't shut the country down and 10 million people die? There might be a 1% chance, but you're the president of the United States. Are you willing to take that? So you got a choice between a freight train in your ass and a Mack truck in your ass. Both suck.
Yeah.
And
it's a
that's
lose-lose.
a lot of times. That's
I mean,
a
you
lot
could
of
go
times.
off studies in science.
No,
but
no,
whatever.
not in the beginning. In the
Yeah.
beginning,
No,
we didn't quite know. In the beginning, there wasn't a lot of information being exchanged. And so it gets filtered. And so as the president of the United States, you're not a scientist. You don't follow the shit. You're being told 6 different things. You know, it's like, what side do I want to err on the side of caution.
Right.
Then you have Randy Weingartner, whatever the fuck her name is, who's the president of the teachers union. And she comes up and she goes, I will do whatever I can to make sure you don't get elected next time, Gavin Newsom, etc., because I don't want my teachers to die. Bring her up for a second. She's at risk. She's got some comorbidities. She's not exactly the picture of health. So as a leader of something, you're dealing with those realities that none of us have to deal with.
Right.
It's like,
That's why you voted in.
That's
the gig.
part of being president is making
that's
tough choices.
That's the gig.
leader.
That's
the
like
gig.
being upset if you're a swimmer getting wet.
Yeah.
That's the fucking gig, dude.
Yeah.
So
That's
my
right.
friend,
Yeah,
my
heavy
friend's
lies the crown.
CEO, my friend's CEO said exactly the same thing. He goes, all my underlings, he's got this huge company, all my underlings, they get to make the easy decisions.
Right.
I get to choose between 3 terrible decisions. That's my job.
That's the gig.
Yeah, I
Fuck
would
you.
say being a leader, you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be easy.
No. Otherwise, everyone would do it.
He sounds like he just sing that song. I'll tell you what, being a leader.
I tell you
it's
what.
not going to be easy. You got to
I happen to write a song about that.
You talk at a certain level and you kind of take your time.
Have you, back to your music, are you, I wouldn't say surprised, but are you relieved about the response you got back on the music you're releasing?
Yeah, I would say so. You know, I've gotten a lot of great feedback, and feels like it's just building, man. The momentum's there. I've been seeing it, you know, every weekend. Just
You
feels
see it
like
all
it's
over the
growing.
charts too. Like all I do is go to my Apple playlist and I hit it, and your song's always in there.
That's
always
cool.
in there.
Yeah, it feels like I'm in the mix. You know, it feels great, and it's just the fans have shown up, and it's also fun because I'm also getting to see like a rebuild. You know what I'm saying? Like
You
I'm
got
going
young
back
fans,
to clubs,
dude.
and like playing for 1,500 people, and then next time I'm going back and there's 3,000 people there. You know, and it's like really fun to see the rebuild and kind of just you know. The fans kind of reconnecting, you know what I'm saying? And me getting to go a little bit deeper and personal.
My son's pissed he wasn't here today because he loves you.
Oh, really?
And when you do batting practice, I just put the speaker on and it plays the country. And your song came up. I'm like, this is the guy from Florida Georgia Line. I'm like, he's on the show Monday. He's like, what? I'm
Nice.
coming. But
That's cool.
he can't. He has school
We'll have to
today.
send him something.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he loves you.
I brought some hubcaps. We can send him one.
Oh, he'll freak
Send
out,
me home with
dude.
one of those.
He'll freak out.
You a car guy?
Yeah, I like cars. Yeah. I don't have a barn to put any in, so I'm pretty minimal
It's
at the
tough,
house
dude.
right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoy cars.
Yeah, oh, Nashville. Yeah.
I know you're a car guy, right?
Yes, sir.
I know you like to flip trucks. Is that? I heard
Yeah,
that's the
trucks.
word on the street.
Yep. Flip
Love
the
a good
truck.
Acrobatics. It's called truck
Yeah,
acrobatics.
That was
I
on
like
purpose. That was on purpose.
purpose.
Training for the Olympics.
Turn the wheel.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let it roll.
So for you, like, what's next, brother? As far it's just like building as a solo
Yeah,
artist.
man. I'm about to go out 2 weeks from now. I'm starting my first headline tour, which is going to be a lot of fun all over the states. I'm going to Australia in October and Canada. So I'm going to dive into that, and it's going to be that's exciting. We've kind of been working that up.
It has to be scary too, though, right? Because before you had BK there, right? And you guys would go through it together. You're still gonna have your crew, like you have your boys.
Yeah,
so
I
you're
gotta-
not solo. On stage, you are.
Yeah, it's been
But
a
at least you had
different
another guy
dynamic,
to like when me and him were
Totally.
touring together. There's nothing better.
Right.
It's
right.
way better than touring
Riff
on our
off each
own.
other.
Yeah, it was the best.
Yeah.
On our own sucks, dude. I get all
Yeah,
sad.
definitely,
You're in
Lonely and
Spokane, Washington, strolling the streets.
Lonely.
Yeah, by yourself. Like at least we had each other.
Yeah. Well, I still got, fortunately I got my band, which
true.
I get to riff off of, and it's ultimately forced me to connect with the audience even more, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, and riff with them instead of always having kind of that
You didn't have that crutch.
side
almost.
guy, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it took a little adjusting, but I've been doing it now solo for a couple years. So I feel pretty, I got that.
comfortable.
Yeah, I'm pretty comfy.
Is this a touchy subject? Like when you guys break up the band, because there's a band. There's more than
Right.
just you get
Right.
the two, PK and you. How's the band decide?
Well, they're ultimately make their own decision. You know what I mean? They're all grown men, but BK went out and started playing stuff on his own first, and I said, "Well, are you going to take the band?" Like he didn't have any conversations with me or the band, and so I was like, "Well, bro, like the band's wondering what's happening with our band. So like, are you going to take the guys?" He was like, "No, I'm gonna bring my own guys."
Doing
So then I
everything.
said, then when I do the thing, like I'm gonna take the band then because these are my brothers, and
He was
like,
cool with
you
it.
know, and he was completely cool with it.
Worked out good for you.
It worked out great, and the guys ultimately, like I said, I mean, they made their own choice, and but we were all excited for what it looked like going down the road with me, and just
That's
building
great,
something
man.
new.
That's awesome.
I'm always interested in. I guess it's different for bands because it's a marriage of sorts. You spend so much time together,
Yeah.
and it's so easy to get on each other's nerves and get. It's just every band breaks up ultimately, no matter how
Yeah.
successful.
Yeah, it doesn't make you bad
Like-
people. It's just
No,
if you're in a business scale, like we're in a business, like there's some days we're never mean to each other, but
No,
you're
but
just
it's like fuck off. But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
but
It's a partnership, and
now,
there
now
is-
imagine your band members 40 years older.
no, I'm not that much older. Please be accurate.
I'm sorry.
Please be accurate, he said.
That makes me angry.
Don't sell me,
20,
don't sell me
16
old.
years older. God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, it's like it becomes a marriage.
It is,
Every
man.
Detail.
And I
You're
know
on
it
a bus
sounds
together, right?
we were in a van, a Sprinter van, and a bus together, and then you're on a bus for a while with 12 dudes in one bus, and then if you're fortunate, you move to 2 buses and 3 buses and all that. But like, yeah, you definitely are closer to your band than a lot of times anyone in your life. And with BK and I, it was a partnership that was the closest analogy I could find was a marriage.
It
You know what I
is.
mean? Minus the sex, it was like full blown marriage. And you're like, and what I mean by that is like the amount of intentionality that you have to put behind it, and investment of time
You're a
to make
team.
it work and to
Yep.
make it thrive. Yeah, it's not like
You're
you
a
can
team.
just show up and play shows and that's the only time you hang and it be thriving. It's a relationship, and it requires energy and time and all that. So
I think you can get to know somebody so well that you can see a vein in their neck or how their nostril flares when they say something. You go, oh, he's pissed right now.
right, or how they operate. Yeah, exactly.
And
But
Same vice
I also
versa.
think too, it's like whenever I hear somebody getting divorced, I say, "How long?" They go, 12 years. I'm like, "Damn, that's a great run."
It's a good run.
Well, I was
12
literally
like,
about
with-
to say,
with you,
as far
it's
as
like
a band, if you go
great
look
run.
at all the bands in history, most of them break up, and most of them don't make it 10 years. And for us, like we made it 10 years, and for me in my
a
head,
huge accomplishment.
when we decided to go our own separate way, like there was obviously that kind of like time of mourning a bit, where I was a little bit like, man, this is like sad, bro. Like this was what I poured my whole life into for the
Yep.
last 10 years. So to walk away is a bit sad, but it's also like, but bro, we should be high-fiving because we just crushed it for 10 years together,
Yeah,
and
it's all
we
you-
came out on the other end, able to even be a solo
And
artist.
yeah, and both you can go do your own thing now. Like it's all about perspective. Like
Right.
I looked down and go, that's
100%.
dope.
Yeah, it's
like
cool.
And also maybe-
I think it depends on the person. If you're a negative person, like, oh my God, they broke up. I'm like, damn, 10 years at the highest level. That's dope.
There's also that
dude.
thing with,
And now I get double the music.
yeah, because part of it is like also when you are collaborating, that has its run. Like, you know, artistically, you might have just started repeating yourself. Like, I'm sorry, but the Rolling Stones have become a cover band of themselves.
Right.
They haven't written a song in 30 years, really. Right. And I think after a while, that chemistry can keep churning out the same kind of gold.
Right.
And you start repeating yourself. I don't know about you, but as a comic, like with this new special, for the first 8 months, man, I was having a really hard time not repeating themes.
Because I wasn't writing your stuff.
Because you were not writing my stuff, and that was the biggest thing. Yes. But like the biggest enemy to a comic after you get to a certain age is getting stuck in the same patterns. Because you're concerned with the same questions, you're dealing with the same things. And if you're not growing as a person and you don't have new experiences, you're going to be stuck. It's the same, what is the word? It's like the same song with a different it's going to be the same thing.
Same version.
Did you feel that way? And like, how do you get out of that trap?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, like the age of from 23 to 33, I mean, talk about, those are the years where life drastically changes. You grow a ton. You're
a different person.
You go from, we had, literally having nothing to having some things to be responsible for, to meeting our wives, to having children, to blah, blah, blah. So like to think that life in some form or fashion doesn't grow two people apart unless you're very intentional about it, then it's a little naive. So yeah, that's a lot. I think that was a big piece of it too, because, me just happens, you know what I'm saying? And you don't want to build your whole entire life with just one person if it's a business partnership. BK wanted me to have my family. I want him to have his family and be happy in his life. And so I think that's part of it too, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, this was a way to really like give us, continue to let us express ourselves, like, and not be redundant, and give the fans, hey, we're not just going to make another FGL album. We're going to make a personal, we're going to make it a bit more personal. We're going to reinvent our connection with you guys.
But here's the other thing. You don't owe anybody anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you guys just wanted to shut it down after a 10-year run touring the world, you don't owe anybody anything. Yeah. So it's also like, I want to do my own thing. BK wants to do his own thing. Cool. Do it. Like, that's what you want to do. You're going to do it. Totally. You don't owe anybody anything. And again, it's somebody's perspective. It's like, 10-year run, that's dope. Now they want to do their own thing. That's dope.
Yeah. And in a way, like you said, you got to start from scratch, because I remember I was at a Springsteen concert a long time ago, and everybody wanted to hear the fucking Springsteen songs.
We need the hits,
right?
Yeah. We don't want that new shit.
Dude, I'm telling you, when he started singing his new shit,
I booed him.
You would see everybody, the aisles would fill because everybody's going to the bathroom and leaving to those drinks. And he at one point goes, damn, every time I sing a new song, you guys all leave. He said that, and the guy, like, you could hear him say,
especially a guy like him.
Yeah, and then he did an interview about it. He was like, I'd sing me new songs, and people would literally be filing out. And it's like, I gotta condition my audience, because I'm a victim of my own success. They're used to these old songs.
Well, you have his catalog. Yeah. I'm not trying to hear the new shit, man. Do that on your own time. Do that on your own time. You know?
People want to hear the hits.
Yeah, I need the hits. When you're talking about that old school of a dude, give me the hits.
Give me the hits.
Yeah, give me the hits.
Yep.
Give me the hits. I wish I could play the guitar.
Yeah, everyone.
There's always
time. Dude, you're young.
Yeah, you got this.
But anybody that's in sports or in stand-up usually want to do what you do, and vice versa. I feel like guys that are in music want to be stand-up or
but music has a different thing that it does to you. Like, when you hear a really good song, like it I swear to God, not to be dramatic, but this is 100% true, and I challenge anybody. If you hear a song that moves you to a degree, you forget you're human. And what I mean by that is, you forget you have to go to the bathroom.
Sorry.
You forget you gotta have sex. You forget you're hungry. You forget everything. You get put in this high relief.
Yeah, I guess.
You fucked up my soliloquy. Gay. But it's true. Like, real music can create that weird feeling of inspiration.
For you though, B. For him, he's singing the same song he's sung a million fucking times.
I know, but
but I would say you guys, but to laugh, like belly laugh, bro, like uncontrollably is. I don't have any songs making people laugh. So,
but at least we can go out and try new stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I was gonna say too, like, the biggest things I've noticed about the difference, because I think about like how our world's the same, and they are in a lot of ways with touring and all the stuff and the balancing act and the family and all that. But like, you guys, for me, I might play a new. Unless I'm rebuilding a career, I pretty much sing the same hits over and over and over every night. With the banter might change a little bit, but like, you guys have to rewrite your whole show every year, if not before. So like everything that you wrote for that whole year, basically in a whole album, is now, unless you pull from it in 5 years, like it's going to be, especially in the age of the internet, it's just out there and you're not going to be able to use it anymore.
But you guys have to, sing the classics and pretend that you're, hyped up for it. Like, here we go, Nashville. And it's like the millionth time. Oh, man, I love this.
But with musical crowds love that. And with stand-up, it's a magic trick.
It's the
I
opposite.
can't come back and do the same hour. I'm fucked.
They won't be like, I love that classic joke.
Yeah.
No. And when I shoot the special, it's done.
Right.
Now I gotta once
get on
again,
the next one.
and then panic for the next 6 months or 8 months.
Then you're cooking in the small shows until you go back out.
I know.
It's just different
repeating
animal.
myself, bringing old songs back in.
Also, you guys have no overhead. Or very little overhead. A microphone and a stool.
Not even a mic. I just show up.
Yeah, we show up. That's all covered.
Yeah.
B, let's take a little break here, man. We're here to talk about car parts, dude.
Car parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts, your one-stop shop for all your car needs. Because you know what they're in the business of? Keeping your car on the freaking road. Nobody wants an old clunker all the time.
That's right.
That's where O'Reilly helps you out. Whatever you got, a 20-year-old Ford Lightning, you got a 40-year-old Humvee, whatever you need, they got it for you. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
They'll test your battery for free in or out of your car if it needs to be replaced. They'll help you find just the right battery for your vehicle. If you need windshield wipers replaced, a brake light fix, or a quick service, they got you.
Dude, the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts are a one-stop shop for all things auto do-it-yourself. You can find what you need in-store or online. So stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today. Visit them at O'ReillyAuto.com/fighter. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/fighter. Let's talk about wieners for a second,
well, I
dude.
took home some of those packets of Joy Mode.
Oh.
And, I
Looks
always
like
have
you
a
got some
rule.
cardio in.
Well, I said to myself, let me see what happens if I take some clinically supported doses of arginine nitrate, L-citrulline,
talking about
Panax
all
ginseng,
natural?
vitamin C. I'm talking about
Backed by science?
backed by science. Let's see what happens when I take something that promotes nitric oxide production and penile tissue relaxation. I'm going to say this. My penis wasn't exactly relaxed. He was tan hut. If he was a Marine,
He's ready to go.
If he was a Marine, you'd be like, at ease, soldier, at
wow.
ease. Marine, not soldier,
Little
Marine.
turbo
That's what you
game.
say for
Little
Army,
turbo
sorry.
game, huh?
Bro, let me tell you something right now. Give it a shot. Give it a shot.
Did you have any side effects?
I sure didn't. I
Wow.
sure didn't. Consume anywhere with 45 minutes to 4 hours prior to sexual activity. You will notice better blood flow, better erection quality and firmness, and increased sexual energy and drive.
That wiener's ready to go, huh?
If you want to spice things up in the bedroom, try a little Joy Mode. Try a little Joy Mode.
Go to
And
Try
for
Joy
Fighter-
Mode. Yep.
Yep. Go to tryjoymode.com/fighter. Enter Fighter at checkout for 20% off your first order. See what happens. You might spice things up.
That's tryjoymode.com/fighter.
That's incredible.
It's incredible.
But yeah, you have to have fucking fireworks and shit and
No, you
guitars.
gotta
You
have
got the whole
everything.
band, managers and
Pyrotechnic
shit.
specialist.
You guys should come. We should do a show together, and that way I can afford to have you guys.
Yeah, we're free,
I'd love
man.
to.
We're free.
All it needs a mic.
I'll come
Bring them
open
on
for you.
tour.
I'll come open for you.
Honestly, guys, I'd love to get y'all's. I think because of what y'all do and the emotion that y'all bring out, I've always thought instead of having 3 acts on a bill, it's all getting up there and playing music, and like sonically, people's ears actually do get tired.
Agreed.
After all night of music, I would love to have everyone sit down, enjoy a comic set, and then get that emotion going, but then also bring in the music element and kind of have a night of both. in a
Metallica
sense.
did that.
Did they really?
Yeah, Metallica.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah, Metallica would
And that's
have
a crazy example
Go Boy
because
do it.
they're so. I mean, their music is so. You're gonna feel that literally in your bones.
Yeah,
And
Metallica would have our boy. Go
Jim
Boy.
Brewer.
Jim Brewer.
Oh, Jim Brewer.
Yeah.
Wow.
My friends went and saw Jim Brewer in Denver recently, and they were like,
Savage.
a clinic.
Oh, dude.
He's so
monster.
fucking funny.
But B,
Jim Brewer.
to the point, imagine doing the same material for 10 years. It'd be that when you get on the stage, you're like, "Whew, okay, here we go.
Yeah,
But
well-
that fan base is there to see it live for the first time.
Yeah, somebody was describing Radiohead at the height of their popularity, and they were on this private jet, and they were, I think, going from Japan to fucking who cares, and the journalist who was there said that they were all looking down, and they were just picking a spot because they couldn't stand to look at each other anymore. Like they were just like,
man.
I can't look at the person across from me.
Well, Metallica said
gonna
that
lick my
they
toes.
didn't talk to each other.
yeah,
They would
had to
only
see a therapist.
they had to go see a group therapist, but they would get on stage and they wouldn't even speak to each other and just play the music and then go back and go their separate ways. Next city, same thing, wouldn't even talk. They didn't break up.
All the machinations behind the magic.
Yeah, 100%.
But isn't everything like that? Like my experience, so you watch sports and you watch the highlight reel and you watch these great football players or something, and then I would watch sort of how, whether it's fighters, pro football players, whatever it might be, I see what it takes to be what they are and the routine and how they have to talk to themselves, how they have to not talk to themselves. It's not that glamorous, man. It's like you were saying. It's like if you looked at it, if you saw how they make the hot dogs, it's fucking.
Well, that's why everyone looks up to music artists or comics or athletes because it's tough, man.
Yeah,
it's not everyone can do it. It's tough, dude. Yeah, it's a tough game.
And I'd say that people, you just referenced the highlight reels. Like people don't necessarily highlight the hard parts. You know what I mean? You kind of highlight the fun to watch parts and the end of the play and the end of the race and all. Yep. That's what you highlight, but it's actually the getting there, that takes the heart and the effort and the push and the patience.
Do you think there was an era of great music, or is that all bullshit? Is there always great music? Like, do you think that, like, people talk about the 70s or, like with rock and roll, like Zeppelin and all that, like, or do you think that's like kind of, because I feel almost like there's always great artists all the time.
I feel like I think it ebbs and flows a bit, and you got really, people reference in country music, people reference the 90s all the time and how monumental the 90s were and influential and how there was just iconic artists. But it's also, I'm sure people that are in the 90s are referencing people in the 70s and how they were so iconic and influential and all that. And so for me, and I'm sure in 20 years they're going to be talking about, 2024 and how, and how influential that was and, how big pop was in that.
Because you don't know it when you're in it.
At that time. Yeah, so I feel like when you look back, there's always seems to be a great artist.
There's always
great music or a group of great artists or a genre that's really pushing the limits or creating really good music at that time. But it kind of ebbs and flows. But for the most part, I think there's always
it's same with sports. Like when people argue greatest of all time, like it's John Jones or BJ Penn or Fedor. I'm like, at that time though, man, you can't compare them. There's greats in every time period, and they want to compare them. Or Jordan, LeBron. It's like Jordan did his thing. LeBron's now. They're both great.
Right.
Yeah, there's always somebody. Yeah. Always.
100%. And it's always evolving and changing, which is what I love about the music business. Like even the business side of it, it's not like a lot of other businesses, like once you figure it out, it's like stays the same. Like this business changes so quickly.
Because it used to be, right? Like if you had a hit song, you would get paid a certain way, right? And then when streaming came along, it changed the game. And then I know a lot of artists would make the majority, not off streams anymore, but the majority of their money off touring. Like that's why Taylor Swift's on the road
people,
like 300
even
days.
how people consume music nowadays compared to 5-10 years ago. It changes every 5 years. I mean, when I signed my first record deal, streaming wasn't even in existence. And that wasn't that long ago.
So how do you calculate that? Like when you're negotiating, like you signed a new independent
I signed a deal
right?
based on how the business was structured at the time, right? Based on sales and not streams. You know what I mean?
Which
sales.
Is wild,
And
right?
so then when streams came into the picture, it was a whole new like revenue generator for the labels.
but not for the artist.
So I say all that to say like that, and obviously now there's TikTok, now there's this and that. So you got to think about now we're in a generation of tons of artists that have come off TikTok, and that didn't exist
so
5 years ago either. So
yeah.
The business is always changing. So it's almost like trying to think like what's going to be next, like trying to
get in front
of think a bit.
Yeah, tough,
yeah. So it's
because I remember when I was growing up in the 40s, the album was the thing. So you'd get an album would drop, and the cover art was everything.
Nothing better.
And you would listen to the whole album.
Right.
So that you would talk about the album.
Right.
You didn't talk about a song really. Nobody's interested in your thematic body of work.
Right.
Nobody's sitting through that shit
unless
they're live.
It's singles, right?
Right.
EPs, yeah.
They're consuming it like they do candy.
Right.
They really are. Like it's just because there's so much. So we're doing this shit like I was talking about.
Right.
We're a nation of drug addicts.
Right.
Dragging our thumb.
And B, it's also similar how when we first started podcasts, right? The Fire and the Kid was big, and then we'd have Theo and Tim Dillon, all these guys. So then you start collabing. So you see Post Malone with Morgan Wall, and like there's a collabing going on. Jelly Roll with Post Malone. Like you see all this collaboration going around. So it mixes the fan.
There was that renaissance too for us as comics from like 2016 definitely 2017 to 2020, right before COVID, where you'd go to the comedy store, and it was the biggest comics in the world.
It was the golden age, yeah.
It was the golden age. And everybody would be in that green room. So I'd walk in there, I'd be like, hello, Bill Burr.
Right.
Hello, Joe Rogan. Hello, Theo Vaughn that nobody knows yet.
Right.
Hello, Chris
But you know
D'Elia.
why that worked, B? Why that was such a special time is everyone was supportive.
Yes.
Everyone had each other's back.
all hung out.
I would do your pod, you do my pod. I have the Schaub and friends, Theo's on. Like all of us were supportive. We were a group.
Yep.
We were a collective group. And then COVID hits and everyone goes, psh, disperses.
Yeah.
And everyone's still strong on their own. Everyone's carrying on.
Yeah,
of course
but
we're going to make
definitely
it.
became
but it's not,
atomized.
but it's not as fun.
It's not a community like it used to be, right?
No,
It was
it's
a
not as
laugh.
fun.
We'd be in the Comedy Store parking lot. It'd be like Rogan,
Be there
Sebastian
till 2 in the morning,
Maniscalco,
bullshitting with your buddies.
Yeah, we'd all be bullshitting. But I mean, everybody. And then people would come in and then leave. And it was just like, but
Right.
it was,
That's
and the
cool.
other thing is because of Rogan's podcast, and then finally ours and a lot of other people's podcasts, we started getting this worldwide audience. So you'd go to the Comedy Store and there'd be somebody from Pakistan and India who knew who you were and all excited to meet you.
Right.
With an accent.
Right.
And you were like,
That's what
the
streaming
fuck?
did for our world. Yeah. That's why I'm going to Australia next month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they weren't listening to country radio in the States.
Yeah, and then
So-
isn't merch really big now too with musicians? Like the live merch, like at concerts.
I think some, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. People always like a good t-shirt.
Yeah, I heard that's big.
Yeah. But yeah, man,
People always like good T-shirt. Facts. Yeah,
They do
you're
like a
right.
good t-shirt.
You're right, brother.
So,
I'm one of
there's
them.
that.
You know the man boxes. I took him in. I went, big kid, stay in shape. What do you do? He goes, yeah, I do a little boxing, train.
I wouldn't say I'm boxing. Just some
Good
boxing
workout.
drills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Said
Just
the same thing.
just to clarify.
And then how do you kind of manage the life of a successful musician and then being a dad too? Because the days you're on
Man.
the road, man, I can't
Yeah,
imagine.
it's definitely a juggling act or a balancing act, maybe rather. And I just have to be super. I actually have to plan for the first time in my life, probably like be really intentional with my time and say like and look ahead on the calendar. Make sure it's just balanced. You know what I'm saying? I live kind of by the calendar. My team knows how important that balance is for me with my family and then my work. And also it doesn't make it easy because I love what I do. And I actually like to work. I'm probably on the verge of being a workaholic. And so like I have to make myself say like, no, today's Sunday, bro. Like you do not even do your email today.
Yep, you
Like
gotta chill.
it's all family. That's it. And
That's
it's
hard,
like,
too. You gotta
it
be
is
like, be
hard.
present.
You really
Got
have to
work to
like,
do.
I have to like literally turn my stuff off. But I actually enjoy the challenge. And to be honest, a lot of times by Thursday night or by Wednesday night, I'm ready to take a 2 or 3 day. We're fortunate in our genre. We call it weekend warriors. Like a lot of times we just tour on the weekends, then we're home from Monday through like Wednesday or Thursday.
That's cool.
That's
So it is a good balance
That's
if I
similar
can
to
actually
stand-up.
sort of be present while I'm home and
And
turn
'cause
off
how old
the
are the
songwriting.
kiddos now? Were they 4 or 5?
3, 4, and 4, 5, and 6. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
great ages.
So they're really fun ages, bro. And every day I'm not there, I'm definitely missing some stuff. So I'm really trying to.
FaceTime.
FaceTime's
Doesn't
been my
work. It's not
friend,
the same, yeah.
but it's not the same. And especially sometimes it just like pours gas on the fire. You know, they're like, oh, I wish you were here. But it is what it is. And they love coming on the road too. So a lot of times I'll either bring like one kid out, which is really special,
So cool.
or the whole family. But a lot of times, like right now, I got my wife and our son Lucas here in LA with us for a few days. So he's having like his one-on-one
His time,
time,
yeah,
and he
it's
just thinks it's the
important, man.
coolest. I had
Yeah.
a show Saturday, got to go to the show, and just like.
That's so cool.
So we're making really cool memories. We're actually also just pulled him out of school. We're going to start homeschooling, so it'll free up a
a
lot
lot of
more.
people are doing that.
That's what I heard. As soon as decided to do that, we were hearing like, oh yeah, like so and so's doing it. I started hearing.
My friend has an amazing school in Nashville that I think would align with your values.
Really?
Yes.
Homeschool setup?
Yes, and I think it's actually
Who's that
I've
be?
actually toured it.
Who's that be?
You don't know her, but she taught my kids, and she's incredible. And she
Cool.
taught my son.
Tim Kenny
probably have
sets
to
up
get
all
that
those programs.
So
content.
it's similar like
Yeah.
this, but I toured it.
Cool.
And I'll put you in touch.
Please.
Because I can't recommend it highly enough.
Cool.
And I had a real tour of it, and she educated my children, and she's incredible.
Great. That's
Yeah.
cool to hear. Yeah, we're literally, it's all new for us. We're just
Yeah.
diving into it like
Yeah.
next week.
Her name is Erin Kuipers, and she's
Cool.
Yeah, you got to
just
have somebody else teach the
pro.
kid. You don't want me doing it.
No, and that's what I told my
Like,
wife.
why does he
too.
have a
I'm like,
speech impediment?
No, but yeah.
I don't know, but he can do a lot of push-ups.
It's really strong.
He's a
though.
strong little
Super
6-year-old.
strong. It's like band
Training
camp.
every morning.
Why does he keep saying the election was a fraud? He's 8. Just kidding.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anyway, the boys are
Good stuff.
We appreciate you, brother.
Man.
Yeah, huge fan, dude. My son, dude, he's gonna be.
I love that.
Yeah.
If you got the kids, you're good for a little while.
Yeah,
Should we do any?
You
guys want to do some current events? Yeah.
We can. I don't know how long he has, just so the viewers know. Like they
got
can't.
time?
There's a miscommunication on timing.
We kept,
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So just a few current events.
I might just have to pee for a second.
Let's go.
for it. Yeah, give him
let's
a
take
second.
Pee break.
Take a little break.
Let's take a break, dude, because that jacket is, dude.
Is it
It's
fire?
all I see.
Is it lit?
Dude, I wish you wouldn't say that at your age, but dude,
I walk by and people go, "Hey, why is your jacket lit? Your jacket's fire," and I don't know what that means. What are they talking about?
are you vaping?
No, dude, I'm just
You think it's
walking around
just
with
that True Classic
It's just
jacket?
my True Classic
dude,
jacket.
it is distractingly good looking on you.
I travel with it.
looks
I've got
good,
this
dude.
in Hunter Green too.
Dude, True Classic is your one-stop shop for all your essentials. Dude, True Classic shirts are my absolute favorite. They're perfect fit, snug in the arms and the chest, just the right room for your midsection or your little tummy there. True
right.
Classic sells premium products at affordable prices. You can get their best-selling t-shirts, hoodies, jeans, joggers, all that. 3, 6, 9 packs. Why not give it a go, man?
Why not?
It's the best. True Classic is committed to their products. They even have a 100% perfect fit guarantee, easy returns.
Right.
So right now, if you're ready to step up your dress game, dude, do it with True Classic. Go to trueclassic.com/fighter to save. That's trueclassic.com/fighter. Shop now and elevate your wardrobe today. Oh, can we talk about Alaska, dude? It's all I think about. Best trip ever.
Best trip ever. But do you like to fish and make money?
Dude, if you
I'm
tell
asking.
me they have some competition going on where you can get 25,000 worth of cash prizes and 25,000 grand prize,
Wait.
I'm gonna freak out.
You talking about Sportsman's Cove Lodge, huh?
Dude,
In Southeast
Alaska's
Alaska?
bestlodge.com.
Listen, you got excitement, competition, camaraderie, and that's what happens when you take a fishing trip where you get tired of cranking in all those fish.
Dude, feel bad for them halibut. Get ready because these boys going for 25 large
You can compete
ones.
for $25,000 worth of cash prizes and $25,000 grand prize. Alaska's bestlodge.com. Alaska's bestlodge.com. Use code TFATK, TFATK at checkout for buy one, get one trips, limit of one person. There is a very
Super limited,
available.
it's so
You'll
fun.
see why when you go into
Best
it.
trip I've ever done.
Yeah.
Alaska's bestlodge.com.
Unbelievable. All right, we're back.
What do you got, Jen?
First one is this guy that got mauled by a bear in Alaska.
We were hiking through some pretty thick grass here. What? We startled her or him. I'm not sure.
That's a grizzly.
And it came.
He said brown bear, but I'm not.
He made some noise. It went to you. And then it went straight to me. And thankfully, when I was falling backwards, I was able to unsheath my pistol. And when he was on top of me, absolutely unload like a on top of this guy. So did my father. I'm not sure. I did shoot myself in the leg when I was falling backwards. Right here.
See the hole.
Straight through my leg. I'm not sure if, again, I shot myself when I was falling backwards or the bear got me. I know he did bite into me. I think I felt that, but I'm
That's
not
a bullet wound, Bubba. Or maybe your dad shot you.
SOS out. Update. Get the out of here! Papa Bear's here.
I think they saw another bear, but yeah. So he actually shot his own leg when he was falling down.
That'll
Trying to kill the bear.
yeah. You're doing
sure.
this. Pulling up. Pa, 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 pa.
How about the bear, though?
I thought he was gonna be like, I like got him in the headlock, and
I know.
I'm like,
I got behind him.
yeah, just unloaded a whole.
How about that bear, though? Just a normal, whatever, Tuesday afternoon, strolling through the freaking Alaska.
Yeah, but see,
Forest
I'm
there?
not doing that. How about that?
That's why you carry a gun, I guess.
Yeah, and that's why I have the gun like this all the time.
Smart
I'm
man.
walking. I'm hiking like this, holding the gun like this,
like
and
you.
with a fucking huge bell. Gang, gang, gang. I'm terrified of fucking bears.
Yeah. Man.
I don't know. You're in that tall
Mountain
grass,
lions,
you can't
bears.
see it. No
I'm
thanks.
good.
No thanks.
All right, so this is in China. There's not much details on this guy, but they did a roadblock to block him in, and he tries to get past them. But something crazy happens here, and I don't know how this guy survives. But
He uses
we'll
a turn signal?
watch. So these are all cops surrounding this Prius. He's trying to get
Now,
into
you're
the window.
allowed to shoot somebody when they use their gun as a
Oh,
weapon.
he
like
just
that.
got
That part is the part I'm
He's
talking
lucky
about.
he's
Like,
not dead.
watch.
He
See the
just
guy
got
behind him?
Ran over
Look, keep watching.
Where'd he go?
and slammed into the car.
And then watch. He gets up.
No.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Oh, both airbags came out on him. So I assume they apprehended him once.
Wow, I can't.
the
Yeah,
airbags came
they
out.
got him. But the guy behind him, I don't know how this guy, because it looked like he just
Like rolled
slammed him
under
into
the
it. Yeah,
car.
he must have. Do you guys see what I'm saying or no?
So he's good. Oh, I see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, we all see
Ran
it.
over
Jim.
and slammed into the car behind him, and he was good to go, huh?
Yeah.
He just walks up.
If this was the United States, that guy would have been shot right
He
in
had
the
some
face.
adrenaline running.
Oh
through
no,
it.
if this is California, they'd apprehend him and let him back out 20 minutes later.
Well, yeah, but in
What
some
America are
states,
you
you
living
get
in?
shot in the face.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, you from Georgia originally? Try that in the South, see what happens.
Yeah, try
Enjoy
and
that
catch
shit.
this. Let me know how it goes.
This is a funny one, guys. You guys football fans, Raider fans? I love an honest Raider fan, and we got one on tape.
All right.
So into the NFL, you know your Raiders, I can tell right here. How are you feeling with the team this year?
We're not going to the Super Bowl.
Wait, just wait.
I already know it.
I already know. it.
Realistic Raiders fan? This is odd. This is the first interview I've ever had like this. The Super Bowl chances, they're not good. But what is it going to take for the Raiders to have a successful season, you think?
Not to get arrested.
Amen.
That's definitely an interesting one. I would agree with that. Yeah, having someone in prison, that's going to hurt the chance.
He doesn't know what to do.
Come on.
Yeah, the
He
guy.
kinda-
So yeah, that would be tricky.
that kid's good.
Thank you for coming. He's like, what?
Hey, bro, roll with that. Roll with it.
Stumped by a 12-year-old.
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
That little
You-
kid's
you-
a
Honesty.
beast.
You got a team?
He's cute.
I mean,
here's a video of Patty
Again,
Pimlet.
TV. I don't really.
I guess
Yeah.
this
Tight.
little
media.
person has to get
Yeah.
kicked.
Too busy with your.
Doesn't really do it for me.
What are you saying, Sanaa?
Sorry. We got,
Oh no, it's okay. This is a video we have of Patty Pimlet asking. Someone asked him to kick him, and he said okay.
Dwarf.
Like Sparta. This is Sparta. Know it? We know.
And that's like half speed.
oh my God.
I love Patty. Look at him.
Turned away.
I didn't even kick that out there either.
I didn't think that
I didn't even kick that hard. My dog took a huge
That was
clap.
hilarious.
Okay, so Floyd Mayweather had his fight with John Gotti III. I think it was on that channel DAZN? I don't know.
The Zone.
DAZN, yeah. And in the middle of the fight, Floyd Mayweather stopped and didn't like a call the ref made about one of his hooks, and he just
He kicked him out. They switched refs. He's like, no, you're out of here.
Who kicked him out?
Floyd. He was like, no, you're out of here. He's like,
Himself?
let him get away.
During the fight?
Yeah, he stopped the fight. It was like, he has to leave.
How does that happen?
Because you're fighting John Gotti's.
It might have been. Do you think it was
grandson.
staged?
It's tough to tell. Yeah, it's tough to tell.
Yeah.
Also, you look at the fans. There's nobody there. Oh, we're in a weird world where, again, I'm not hating on Gotti at all.
Why
Get your
would they
money.
if they can see it on TMZ the next day?
It's wild, man. Like Floyd Mayweather, like you're the best, one of the best to ever do it, and you're fighting a guy who has 2 fights because his grandfather was a mob boss. That's what we're doing.
Interesting.
Isn't it weird?
He's been fighting for a minute though. Gotti's son, grandson. Yes.
He has 2 fights.
He has like MMA
MMA
record.
guy.
Yeah,
MMA guy. I think he has
Yeah, MMA background.
fights, Yeah.
yeah, he
But
like
boxing.
shoved the ref too in the clip. Like he was like, get out of here.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already have skeptical hippo eyes.
Like, how does he not get like in trouble for that?
I don't get it.
This is very WWE.
Right.
You know, if you want views, this will do it.
Sorta.
Since nobody's there, we'll
Yeah, we'll try and go viral.
get some.
The pump of crowd noise is interesting too.
There's
Yeah.
pump. There's.
Yeah, that's not real crowd. That's not the crowd.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's all that.
I don't know what the fuck is real anymore.
Yeah.
I don't even know. It'd be funny. If
It's
Tyler
not-
just
it's
pulled
all-
that
it's
off
not
and it's just
good.
a wig, and he's not even Tyler Hubbard. You fucking liar! That's not even your hair. You piece of
mask.
shit. It's a mask.
That's
it's a sand
hilarious.
mask. Oh, man.
Here's another one, guys. So these 2 astronauts were supposed to go up to space for only 8 days,
Yeah.
and now they're not coming back till February.
And how long
they
have
like
you
it
been up
there.
there?
Fun.
They were only up there like 2 or 3.
That's like being in a band, but only in space, huh? Wow. And you can't
Yeah.
get out, and you never get on stage. You're just stuck in your fucking van.
And they have enough food and everything.
To last, apparently, yeah. And
Yeah, you eat out of tubes.
NASA said we don't trust the Boeing spaceship to bring them back, so we're going to wait for SpaceX to go up, and they're just going to hitch a ride.
God, Boeing crushing it lately.
Wow.
Yeah, not good.
Hold on.
can you-
This is
Sorry, guys. We'll be
nuts.
back in a few.
Can you
months to
imagine?
get
You're only supposed to be gone for 8
They're
days.
stuck till February?
Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, no.
No thanks.
Yeah, it's a Matt Damon movie.
Yeah.
It's called Mars.
And it's just 2 of them?
Yep.
And are you in zero gravity there? How does
Yeah.
that
It's
Looks
space,
like
bro.
it. Look at her
right?
hair.
So then now you're dealing with bone density loss and all that other weird shit because you can't really work out.
Maybe
That's
they
a
got
weird
some
issue.
Yeah.
May I see, please?
some bands.
And you're just floating around all the time. I'd go fucking nuts, I think.
Yeah.
What else you gonna do though?
I don't know.
Go ahead, exit if you want. Okay.
That's a lot of sitting in space.
I know,
It's a
man.
lot of sitting space, Tyler, and I'm glad you mentioned that.
Just observing.
It's also part of the gig. It's also part of the gig.
Just an observation.
Part of the gig.
Hey, you know what? It'd be a real bummer too if you're up there and you were like, "Did you not bring my guitar?" You got to be fucking kidding me.
No music for
no.
4 months.
And then I'd have to get a beat, and you'd have to write a song. I'm like, do I have to do this again?
Acapella, yeah. Come on,
At least
Bryan.
he's with like a
Give me that
chick.
melody.
You know?
Give me that melody.
Yeah, that's true.
At least he's maybe they're both single. You figure it out. In
Or they're
space.
married and everybody's watching. Oh,
At least he's not with a guy he like hates. He's like, I'm stuck with John till February.
Jesus.
What if they
that'd
don't
be a
get along?
disaster.
And then you just see a spear floats into the thing. One can return. Right? I'd watch that.
What do you mean?
They kill each other.
He's still in the movie.
Oh, I thought
Survival of the
that was a
He's
dick.
in Hollywood.
No.
That's not. They don't
No, it's a
turn
spear.
gay.
No, it's
okay. I thought they turned gay because
it was all set up, and then we can pay per view for it. Just spitballing money ideas. What else you
Okay,
got?
this is great.
This clip's not totally new, but former Blue Jays and Yankees outfielder Jesse Barfield wants to fix things for this little girl. B, just look what happens here.
Foul ball for her. Oh.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Just
Oh, high five. Yeah.
What was that adult lady doing to that little gal?
She took the ball. Juan Miranda tried to give it to the little gal, and she took it.
Oh.
Hey, that little girl had that ball, scumbag.
Wrong.
Hey.
Oh, she's going to get roasted.
I mean,
Look at the comments. I mean, I couldn't agree more with this. You could tell by the lady's haircut she's that type of person. Yeah, dude.
I mean,
Someone says you can tell she's voting for Kamal.
she's a scumbag.
Scumbag.
Like, hey, I know you want a ball, but that's a little girl. Give it to her right now.
Or you realize, like, oh, in the moment, like, my adrenaline just took over. Like, my bad. Here you go.
There you
What
go.
was I doing?
That's what
Exactly.
She's like
do.
high fiving.
There you go. She turned her back on
That little girl would have a chance. Yeah.
But how is the dude she's with? I'm like, what are you doing? Give it back to the little girl.
Yeah. And
Maybe the movie doesn't end there. You know, maybe there's another scene where she makes
I
it.
would.
maybe there's another. You
Says
know
Yankees
what?
outfielder wants
You know
to make
what?
things right.
She makes it right.
You're right. And maybe that little girl ran up. I want to know the end of that movie.
Oh, no.
'cause
There's
I
another
think-
movie idea.
I appreciate that you're giving her the benefit of the
Oh,
doubt.
I'm
Never
not.
know.
I'm
You're
not.
definitely not, and I don't think I am. Play that clip one more time. I can tell you.
Based on her haircut alone, you've already canceled her.
You,
Yeah,
you,
she's
you
done.
yanked it out of her hands.
And then high fived another dude.
Oh, you're out of your mind.
Oh man!
I'm surprised the fans didn't.
Not to mention the girl on the other side.
girl
with
has the
glove-
ball.
with the
look at her
glove.
face.
the girl caught the ball. Yeah, she's not happy.
Oh, I don't like
Very
her.
sad.
And by the way, how about here's another one. If you do catch the ball and there's a little kid there excited, give the ball to the kid.
Yeah, if you're over 21,
What are you gonna do with it? What's she gonna do with that baseball when she gets home?
Yeah,
you know?
mount it somewhere
Put it
under a glass.
Souvenir case.
No.
They always give it to the kid.
Anyways, totally.
Here's a good one. So Cooper DeJean is a cornerback. He's playing for the Eagles, and this happened during the NFL draft. Someone prank called him.
That's not cool, man.
What's up? So who? Oh. I appreciate you. I appreciate it. Who's this? Wow. It's a prank. It's a prank.
So mean.
That's not
Everybody
cool.
was
That's fucked
waiting
up.
for it too.
Whoever did that's not your friend. Whoever
No.
did that is not your friend. Especially like a life-changing moment like that.
He knows he's going.
You've been waiting.
Right? He knows he's going.
Yeah.
Still, though.
Not
Yeah.
cool.
No, you ruined the moment. And what, for the gram?
Yeah.
I don't
Man.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But we're talking about him now, so maybe
Yeah.
maybe it's working out for him.
Yeah, I
was
remember
waiting
when
for
I
a
was
call.
in my 20s when AIDS was a thing where if you got it, we didn't, you were dead. And I remember you had to take an AIDS test. I had to take an AIDS test for this thing, and I was so fucking nervous. I was like, an AIDS test?
Why were you so nervous?
Holy shit! I don't know. Just fucking not because I was in bathhouses with dudes, just because
Why
back
would you be
then
nervous?
we didn't know it was whether
Yeah,
it
but
was a
it was
straight or
mainly
gay.
a homosexual.
But back then it was like they would.
Yeah, it could
the
be
way,
anything.
I was nervous as shit. And
That's
listen,
weird, right?
Not
what?
gonna let that down.
What do you mean?
Weird.
No,
because
dude,
I'm not worried about it.
I went to a college phase. Not a
Oh, there
big
you
deal.
go.
No,
I knew
anyway.
it.
But so,
College phase.
so, yeah, if the guy was really dark with a mustache, different. You know what I mean?
Right,
Otherwise,
right,
I'm
right.
straight, Tyler. But
You were nervous about it. Is it only if you're
nervous
doing
as
drugs or you're in
fucking
gay
nervous,
bathhouses?
Yeah, because I was shooting up and
It was
hanging
the
out in bathhouses.
needles.
But
Sure, could happen to anybody.
But I remember I said to the doctor, I go, "Am I going to die?" And he goes, "Yes, you are, but not of AIDS."
Oh, good. Wow.
And that, yes, you are, and then, but not of AIDS. Yeah,
Son of a
that
bitch.
1 second was like, ah! You know.
I'm dead.
Hey, doc, now's not the time.
Hey, yeah, I don't need you joking around.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You got a couple more if you want to do them.
Give us one more.
Give us one more. I mean, this one's funny. Yeah. This one? Yeah.
This kid get blasted.
Yeah. I told you.
Oh.
Charlie,
You should have had a couple.
is that what he said?
Yes.
You should have had a cup on. Wow. You know,
That sounded like
Lessons
he didn't
from
have a
older
cup
brother.
on.
I thought he
he
It sounded
took
like he did.
He took that like a champ.
Hey, bro, move the glove, buddy.
Should have had a
This is
cup
cute.
on.
I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
cute.
You all have kids, so you know.
Super
Yep.
cute.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
I'll teach my son the same lesson.
100%.
Same
Tyler, we
lesson.
can't thank you enough, brother. We know you're
Man,
busy.
thanks for having
Sorry
me,
about the
guys.
time communication thing.
No worries.
We're gonna.
You don't want to sing us a song,
It's
huh?
fun
You want to
chatting.
sing us out? Because there's a guitar right there.
No,
That's like asking
It's
you
really
to tell
out.
Isn't that
jokes.
the most
dude.
obnoxious thing? Tell us and be funny.
it's really out of tune.
That's
Yeah.
like when you do morning radio.
You wanna tell me a
Okay,
joke?
he's in Spokane all this weekend. Give us one. Give us a little taste of what they can expect this Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 2 shows on Sunday, by the way.
Tyler, sing us a
That's
ballad.
actually
if
a
you
really
would.
good radio voice, guys.
Yeah,
not
pretty
bad,
strong.
right?
It sure is.
There's nothing worse. Tell us something they can expect. Give us a joke, girl.
Yeah.
It's 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't want to
Just come to the show and you'll see.
Yeah, you just come to the show.
Just
man.
come to the
Yeah.
show.
Well, we
Not
can't
your-
thank you enough.
not
So
your
you're crushing it,
perfect
man.
Thanks,
like I said,
guys.
my son's gonna be super jealous. He's not here today, but keep on keeping on, brother.
Thanks,
You got
dude.
fans over here.
I have
Appreciate
your
it
number.
a
I'll
lot.
call you every day.
Please
All right?
do. Every day.
It's okay.
Please do. Check
Tyler,
it every
Callen
morning.
again. I'm in Nashville looking for you.
Just remember, Bryan was the guy that was worried he had AIDS back in the
That's
day.
fine. Yeah, we will keep that
Listen,
between us.
I was young.
So
I was
weird.
young.
All right. Love you
I
guys.
found Jesus. Now I'm straight. All right.